your life.
Hi everyone! I hope everyone had a great day and thank you for joining our event Spill the Beans. My name is Jessica and I'm one of the product manager in Tiket.com. Tonight we do have two special guests, Dennis from product and Kamal from commercials. Hi guys!
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, MJ.
Hi, MJ.
Cool. So after 2 years of because of the pandemic, it doesn't stop us from preparing ourselves for the upcoming wave of opportunities. As we strive to be the most loved travel and lifestyle platform, this is our story. These sessions will give you exposure of what it's like to be adventure with things to do. We will give you updates about products, business, and technologies. So I already prepared some of the questions and very excited to cross-examine our two leaders here. So if we're talking about Tiket.com, people automatically think about purchasing flight tickets and booking a hotel with cheaper price. So what is things to do vertical? Can Kamal answer that for us?
Hi, everyone. So let's quickly talk about what is things to do. What are these things which we do when we travel? So things like attractions, things like tours, things like beauty and spa, things like playgrounds. That's how we define things to do as a vertical. Back to you, MJ, if that was clear.
Categories. But why does Ticket.com pursue to things to do products, Kamal?
That's a very good question, actually. So Ticket.com, as we all know, began our journey from flights. So once we finished flights and that whole vertical was kind of done from ticket side, then we moved into hotels because we also followed the customer journey. And then finally we realized that once you reach the destination, what do you do there? So Ticket has been your partner when you want to book a flight, when you want to book a hotel. But once you reach the destination, Ticket was not doing anything. So that's where they came up with an idea of actually pursuing things to do. So when you reach the destination, that's why if you want to book a tour, if you want to book a beauty and spa or an attraction, then you would still use ticket.com. That's why we came up with this division.
Oh, that's great to hear. I mean, so Ticket.com basically care about the customer journey and we offer an end-to-end experience for our user when they're traveling. So we as a
Yes.
company, we share the same value to offer the best customer experience. But how is TTD different from other verticals? I think Dennis can help to answer on that.
All right. Thanks, MJ, for the questions. Um, so yeah, I always said that since I joining a ticket, I always said that things to do is very different with the rest of the product that we have, flight and hotels. Initially, we comes with a mindset that we want to have a connected trip where after you go into a certain location with some transportation such as flight, and then you stay there with our products such as hotels or our apartments, etc., then we want to have a connected trips where let them be able to find some activities surrounding and while they are traveling. But then we realized that for this particular inventory or product, we realize is the customer is different, our inventory is different, even our business is also different, such as flights and hotels, for example. How different it is, I mean, I can just give you for example. In flights or hotels, for example, is a very the customer's intention when they are trying to find something is very a search driven kind of intention. They already know they want to go, right? For example, I want to point out from Jakarta to Surabaya, for example. I can exactly know, okay, I want to go around in early in the morning, or I want to find some a late night flights, or even a hotel. Sometimes they already know, okay, I have a certain budget. I want to find some hotel suitable with me. I know probably in Jakarta I want to find in the Menteng area. But on activity is that I always believe, and this is what we always said to our team as well. Most of the time, people don't know what they actually want. They're trying to discover. Okay, now I'm in Bandung, or now I'm in Bandung. Okay, so what should I do now? What kind of activity is there? Probably there are some similarities, such as okay, I know, for example, in Jakarta, there's a very top attraction such as, for example, Taman Safari. Then I want to go there. So that's the similarities where I already know where I want to go, location. But most of the time, they're like confused. Okay, so what is it? So customer point of view itself is already different. If we go back to supply demand kind of mindset, let's go back to the supply side. Inventory itself. As Kamal mentioned, we are actually selling our product ranging from attraction, such as our Taman Safari, some others activity, to our events, uh, to our beauty and wellness, to our, for example, tour, COVID test as well at the time. So we have a lot of varieties where each of this inventory have a unique set of problem where probably later we can go into. But I always said, I mean, probably I'm one of the people in the company. I always said to the rest of the team, hey, we are different. So stop have a mindset of flat or product. Now start have a mindset where you are selling activity, where you're selling experiences, and that's the element of surprise. Sometimes, okay, how's the experience when I, for example, watch Tarik Kecak at Bali, for example, when they are actually go there, they will feel like, oh my god, it's so different. Every experience will be different. It's not like when you're trying to move from one hotel to another hotels, yeah, probably a little bit the same. They have pools, they have nice room, but each of activities that we sell have a different kind of experience. That's how different it is with compared with others. Back to you, MJ, or Kamal.
Cool, that's awesome. Well, Kamal, do you have anything to add related to that? Sorry, I don't think I can hear your voice. What's that? No, I cannot. I think you click the mute button. Can you click unmute? Wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. So we have some technical difficulties here. We'll figure it out. But
It's
well,
okay.
thank you, Dennis, for sharing amazing things about TTD from the visions and the goal. Everything sounds really exciting. But it will not be fair for the audience if we're not being transparent of the conditions of things to do at the moment. So
Yeah.
what's the biggest challenge or problem the vertical is facing at the moment?
Um, okay, so this is a big question, right? When we're talking about challenges or problem, um, there are multiple ways for us to seeing it. Okay, let's go back to initial evaluations, right? Oftentimes when you're trying to see this product, there's two sides of it, right? The side of a supply side and the side of a demand side, right? Let's just break it down into these two first, and then we go into each of the problem. And since this event's called spill the beans, so why not we spill a little bit of the beans, right?
A lot of wins.
So to make it a little bit fun, right? So okay,
Hey MJ,
but
can you hear me?
we can
Yes,
hear you,
we
Kamal.
can
We can
hear
hear you.
Oh,
you.
I'm back. Oh, awesome.
Woo!
We had some
Okay,
technical difficulty.
awesome.
Shall I take your question again?
Go ahead.
Let's
Go ahead.
finish the let's finish the challenges first since Dennis is already in the middle, and then we'll get back to you
Okay.
to add all of the
Okay.
Sorry
visions and
guys.
also the problems. No problem.
All right. All right. All
Okay,
right.
Dennis, you can continue.
So when we're talking about challenges, back again, we should see also at the same time where we want to get, where we want to go actually, right? So we're talking about ticket first. Let's focus on ticket, right? A mission that we want to be the most customer centric OTA, right? That's our main mission right now. So means that the questions is first, how can we make sure that we are actually serving a product that serve the customers and focusing on the customers, focusing on the needs of customers, right? So one of the challenges is this, for example, yeah, in each of the activities that we have or experiences that we have, all different kind of problem. For example, I give you one example. Uh, when selling a events concert, for example, events concert, right? Selling event concert is fun but tricky at the same time. What's the fun part? The fun part is, it's a when you sell Westlife event concert. And by the way, now we're selling Westlife as well. So if you're looking for some ticket, probably is still there, right? So the fun part is that you are actually giving a lifetime experience for them to watch the concert, right? But then some problem happening is that a lot of traffic coming in. So, we only have, for example, a certain quota for Westlife because we're selling offline concert, for example, in some location, probably how much? 4,000, 5,000. But the numbers of users who wants to purchase that is like how many? 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. But the question is, how can we give our customers the best experience when they're trying to purchase this inventory with a limited numbers of supply and unlimited numbers of demand, right? The demand is unlimited. I would say unlimited. So that's one challenge. But if we go back, for example, to another category such as I would say tour kind of business, right? You want to go to Bali, you wanna looking for Nusa Penida over there, right? But with when you're trying to go Nusa Penida, there's a lot of packages over there. You can be from backpacking style to, for example, luxury style. You can go with an open trip. You can go with a closed trip. You can go with some tour guide in English, or you can go with some tour guide in Bahasa. All of these type of packages might have a different type of suit or needs for different kind of customer. Now the question for us, if we want to package this to be the best experience for customer, how would be the best experience for them? So that will be one of the challenges that we are actually tackling off. So a lot here, there, other category have different kind of problem. COVID tests have their own challenges. Attraction have their own challenges, but there will be some spill of the bean of it. The questions that for us, the fun part is how can we build all of this and connecting all the dots so that we can build the industry standard. Because I tell you, there's no standard in the industry. We can look our competitor, whatever it is, they solve it different ways. But the question is, how can we actually giving the best? Because the opportunity is there. I think I would say this is like a blue ocean kind of thing. Nobody cracking it yet. So it's a lifetime of experience. That's why I'm so excited about it, where we are able to build the standard of the industry. So I truly believe 10 years from now, 5 years from now, people will look back and then, oh, wow, this is how Ticket.com doing it, for example. So that's a little bit of the beans that I want to spill today.
That's awesome, Kamal. Since there was a technical difficulties, so do you want to add about how is TTD different from other verticals and what is the biggest challenge or
Yes.
problem we're facing at the moment?
I have so many things
Cool.
to add, and I wanted to take it ahead from Dennis. So one of the few things, right, is what Dennis mentioned to everyone over here is that you've got TTD, which is so different because it's unlike hotel and flights where there's one customer journey. On TTD, there are 5 different customer journeys. So how you book your attractions, let's take an example of Universal Studio, is very different from how you book a beauty and spa, which is very different from how you book a tour, which is very different from how you book a playground. And the different part over here is that unlike hotels and flights, which are very simple businesses where you have one SRP and one flow, on TTD we have 5 different flows. So the challenge with product managers over here is we need somebody who can critically think, at the same time who has the ability to understand the why and not concentrates on the what, so that you understand that what is the why behind each business. Because we are not here to just say that we've got a lot of fluff to say that we want to change the world and do all of those things. That's not the truth. Actually, we are here to make sure that you have the best experience when you're traveling. Now, when you're traveling, and for you to have the best experience, the way you're booking attraction is so difficult. So I have to make sure that I understand the insights, I understand the why behind it, how you book attractions, what are your problems over there, and how to make your journey the best journey possible. How do you book beauty and spa? How do you book playgrounds? So our journey over here is so different compared to other verticals. At the same time, our why is to make your experience the best experience ever at the destination. Hence, it's a very different vertical from everything else, because we have a huge challenge over here to make sure that there are 5 customer journeys, but how we can, drive it down to just one product. At the same time, you understand everything and you're able to experience each customer journey equally well and have a great experience. So that's how it's different. Now you spoke about the next one, which is, what are your big challenges, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
vertical has so many challenges to begin with, but I'll take one by one so we all understand in a proper structure. The first challenge
Oh,
is, in ticket.com today, I don't know if you guys have all used the ticket app or not, but you've got flights, you've got hotels, you've got events, you've got so many different things going on. How are you going to even search TTD? How, right? From global search, how are you going to even go to the product in things to do? That's our first challenge. Second challenge is, when you search, which vertical are you searching for? So again, we need to build another search within the vertical itself so that you can discover our products. The third thing is, when you go inside, what is going to be your pre-purchase journey, what's going to be your post-purchase journey. Now imagine having 5 different categories. From 5 different categories, each experience is different. So for each experience, you have to customize things, prioritize things, fight for dev resources, make sure that you have the right commercials behind it, right business behind it. So imagine the mayhem that goes into all of this. And then on top of this, Dennis just described the problem that we have with events, which is a very unique interlinked vertical to TTD, where we sell things like Westlife, we sell things like Justin Bieber, we sell things like Head in the Clouds, where people are running behind us, and we only have 10,000 tickets, but there are 500,000 people which are coming and demanding this. So now, how you as a product manager critically think over here, make sure you have a great experience. So it means you cannot piss off people, but at the same time, you can only sell them 10,000 tickets. There is no right way or wrong way of doing over here. There is just a miserable way where everybody's going to bitch about you. Now, even though you're going to get that, how do you still provide people with a great experience, even though you know that the end result, people are still going to complain about you on Twitter? So that's what makes this division absolutely unique and different. Thank you. My ranting is done. Go ahead, MJ.
thank you for sharing. I think it's
Cheers.
just that we have a different ways of like solving a problems, but at the same time, we need to be able to connect all of the dots and not to deliver the best customer experience, right? So, with all of the challenges and problem, I believe that a strong commitment and critical thinking to find the solutions are needed to increase customer satisfactions and deliver what the customer needs. So, Dennis, as a product
Hmm.
team, how do we go about creating products that are addressing the needs of the user and market?
It's okay. So this kind of questions, right? I mean, it's always the questions for all the product leaders or product manager out there, right? How we actually build a product that's actually um, change their life, right? So I always say that um, the great product is the product that able to change your life, basically, for me. Where first I give you example first, where when Instagram come up, right, to the market, can you imagine like a few back years ago, there's no behavior of healing or downtime by scrolling to Instagram feed. I mean, it's not exist, right, in the era of probably our mother or father or our brother back then, right? So it's a kind of life changing. I mean, it can be good, it can be bad. I mean, we are not talking about that, but specifically when we're talking about in this market, right? Uh, I can say the approach can be the same, but the content might be different. The first, I think, what we always said, and this goes back also when people trying to join us, we always ask this kind of questions where how to build this kind of product. What we look number one is how we or everybody product leader have the customer empathy. So I think customer is empathy is very important. First, understand your customers. So when we're talking about we want to build, okay, let's for example, let's focus on improving um, our business or our tour business or our tour kind of business. Let's just talk about some activity, outdoor activity, for example. right? Let's try to understand who is our customers. We can come up with some hypotheses, assumptions, etc. We can do some our research, but first, number one, let's try to understand whether they just like doing outdoorsy activity, whether they like extreme activity. Understanding the customer pain points help you to really uh, trying to make sure that we are solving the problem. So first, customer empathy is very, very, very important. That's why when we do interview, we always ask these questions. We want to make sure that they have can feel if I'm the customers, what can I do? Second, after you understand the customers, then you're trying to find the pain point inside of it, right? So, for example, if let's say I want to purchase, let's say, um, I would say tour kind of business, right? Back again to the initial ones that I discussed, right? The pain point for that is that okay, but I want to have a private business. I want a private tour, but I also want to have a group of five. I also, for example, I want to see how's the experience at the time. For example, whether um, the activity, for example, for me, let's just imagine, right? Let's just imagine I want to go hiking, Merbabu mountain or some Rinjani, right? I want to find some activity over there. I want to see how's the activity over there. Like, is it how? What's the duration? How long does it takes? All the experiences. That's why understanding that pain points helps you to really first having empathy, then having a pain points helps you to really determine whether do we want to solve these pain points or not. Third one is actually after you do that, then first trying to prioritize. You can think first. You can think of the end point. So there's a very famous one. For example, if it's in Airbnb or is it in Amazon, we always trying to say, okay, understanding customer empathy and pain points, then have the intentionality or the ending point of the product. Imagine your product first, ideal product first, right? You imagine the ideal product and then you go backwards because we always have a problem of resources, we always have problems of priority, of course, we always, but when you think into high level intentionality, what do you want to intend of this customer, you will have a bigger pictures, the vision of where you want to go into, then start from that, do small thing, and sometimes there's a word saying that you can start do um, things that don't scale sometimes. If you want to try to build that, building the best experience, sometimes we can have end to end, but make it the small scope. Do things that don't scale first. Then start from there how to scaling up. So in the beginning, actually on Tiket, on TTD itself, I'll spill also, this is another bit, I spill a little bit. We want to help our customers be able to discover based on destination. We don't have the right system at the time, but we did it anyway. Now, the thing is how can we scaling up our content, our discoverability to make sure it's scalable. At the beginning, we don't do scale. We don't think of scalability, but we want to make sure we give the best customers. Then after that, we're scaling up, ramping up a little bit. So yeah, that's a little bit about my tips on how if you want to build a great product. Hopes that helps though.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. That's great to hear. I agree completely with understanding what the customer needs are extremely important in order for us to deliver a great experience. Um, Obviously, Dennis and Kamal, we cannot solve all the problems and challenges at once, right? We cannot take off the bullets, or else we'll bleed to death. But I also believe that discussions and well-calculated plan are needed to accomplish all of the goals. Is it okay actually for you guys to share the future plan for TTD verticals? I think we can start with Kamal.
Thank you, MJ. Very good questions, and I think you're doing a very awesome job today. So, just to give everyone a little bit of an insight on how we think about the vertical and what are our present and what's our future plan, right? So, we want to be part of your entire journey. So, first we did was to understand whether we are serving customers that are within the country, within the city, or are we serving customers that are traveling. So we are very very clear with our goals. that we want to be a very crucial part of a customer that is traveling in his journey. So whether he's going to Bali, whether he's going to Singapore, Korea, Japan, and all these places. With the pandemic, last 2 years has been very, very difficult. So we focused on the domestic market, where we were able to be the number one player today when it comes to things to do. Ticket.com is the number one player in Indonesia. So we made sure that we have all the top attractions on an exclusive basis in our domestic market, and we are able to make sure that we can offer our customer the best experiences and best attractions at the most affordable price. So that's been our vision, a very clear vision that we've been focused for last 2 years, and we've been able to achieve that, and we've done fairly okay in terms of achieving our user experience as well as achieving our inventory growth. Now, for the future, as we know, markets are opening up, travel is back. So we want to be the number one player in Southeast Asia. That's where our vision is, that's where our focus is. So with that, now we are expanding further into Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam. These are our markets where we want to be the number one player when it comes to attractions, number one player when it comes to events, number one player when it comes to playgrounds, beauty and spa. So that's where now we are focused towards, is how we can scale into global or regional markets as of now. Yes, MJ, back to you.
Cool. Dennis, do you have anything to add on the future plan for TTD verticals?
Yeah, it's a future for us, for you as a product manager as well, right?
Oh
So I think so if I'm being vulnerable, right? Being vulnerable here, I've been joining Ticket specifically to build this at the beginning, and that's also the reason why I actually joining Ticket.com at that time. Um, I'll go. I'll tell a little bit also, right? Um, COVID changed everything, right? COVID changed everything. But as Kamal also mentioned that now we saw this as more into epidemic, and then I think market is opening up as well. We can now starting to dream and imagine, right? And I always think it this to myself also, right? What is actually our product? What is what we actually sell to our customer? I know we have 10 categories. We have attraction, events, shop, beauty, but I think one of our leader, also our co-founder in Ticket, said this: what we sell also is a moment, right? Is what they will remember at the time is looking back. Okay, hey, you know what? I'm going out with my family back here last time to Universal Studio. We have pictures there at your home. For example, you take a frame, put it there. You go with your friends. You go with your loved ones. What you will not take a picture in your hotel room. Yeah, I mean you will take probably, but what you will sell and will take a picture is your moments, your activity, your experience. When you find in Taiwan, for example, your love boba, suddenly, oh, this is fun. Take a picture together with families, right? Or when you go to Bali, you find some experiences, a very cool cliff. I remember at the time Kamal mentioned to me, go to this beach. I forget what's the name. Yeah, go to this beach, Dennis. This is a very good beach. And then when you go there, you take a picture. So you actually what you're selling moments. You're selling experiences through what through TTD. So I would not saying that. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I would always say that the future for us, we are actually creating moments, we creating experience, a lifetime's experience that people will always remember. People will always put it in their phones. And you know, sometimes in iPhone, there's a reminder of photos looking back into last year, you going this, right? And also, I think Instagram also did that, right? Or like
yeah.
last year, you go here. Last time. So, I mean, you can take a picture with Instagram, but purchasing on ticket.com. Joking aside, but I think I see a bright future on this. It's gonna be the next big things on OTA. Why? Because I believe nowadays a new generation value experience more than luxury itself or the lifestyle itself. So I see that a great plan as the future. for things to do in ticket.com. All right, back to you, MJ.
Are you able to hear us, MJ?
I think some internet connection challenges on MJ. Yeah? So I think
Okay.
come on, it's now
I'll
it's,
take it.
it's it's two of us. This is fun, right?
Yay,
We've been
let's do
working
it.
very closely, right? We've been working
Like
very
crazy.
closely
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
I mean, even joke aside, that even there's a joke that I talk to you more than I talk to my wife,
Exactly.
because we
Same,
are
I
very,
think.
working very closely, and
I would have the same
I think
feedback.
yeah, I think I want to understand also, right, Kamal? Um, do you, if sometimes there's people asking, right, Dennis or Kamal, how you actually collaborate together, right? Um, so I think uh, uh, I want to say this, right? I mean, because this we're talking about spill a bean, I want to spill is collaboration. I think I think collaboration is a key, right? A key factor for us to success. Knowing all this future planning, attractions. I think one of the key things that, for example, I want to say is a collaboration, right? Like, so come on, if I want to discuss this with you, how would
Yeah.
you see a product person,
Yeah.
business person, commercial person collaborate each other very well?
No, I
Yeah.
think to add,
I think.
Dennis, since you both
Hmm.
like are the leaders from the commercial team and product, right? But we have other departments here at Ticket.com that we always work closely together, like Team CS, design team, dev team. And I do believe like if you want to go fast, then you go alone. But if you want to go far, then you go together. But it's been proven here in Ticket we accomplish so many things and it can only be done with a solid teamwork. So as you already shared the future plan, as a leader, you're not only responsible for leading the future plan of the TTD, but also managing your team member to achieve goals. So what do you think is the recipe for of success for TTD verticals, Kamal?
So I think this is a very complicated question. So I'll try to be as brief as possible on this. So I think first of all, in this entire journey, it's been one of our toughest and the most exciting journey that me, MJ, Dennis, and a lot of our colleagues have gone through for last 2.5 years. In this process, we've also become best friends. In fact, I call Dennis like one of my brothers, and we've and I think the recipe for success has to be, or is for sure, a lot of collaboration. But collaboration can be a very shallow term, right? So I want to use the word, actually, is there's a lot of trust. There is, I would say, each, if something that you want to take away from this podcast or from this session, is the blind trust which you need to showcase. It's like going into a war, and you need to go into a war with your soldiers and with your team. And the
Yes.
cornerstone of any war, to win the war, is blind trust that you need to showcase in your colleagues or in your friends or in your family. And that's how it becomes over 2.5 years with Ticket.com over here, that we've been able to show so much trust in each other. And I think I have been focusing that for last 1 year in itself, to share these learnings with other teams, where we stop calling your team, my team, this team. It's our team. It's one team. Also, the big challenge in Ticket, what we got is, we got roles where you were not just doing one team, but you had to make sure that you were doing all three teams, whether it's commercial, whether it's product, whether it's tech. Because even Ticket.com leaders understood, the BOD understood, that you cannot have three teams pursuing a goal for each vertical. You need to have one team pursuing a goal for each vertical. So when I say each vertical here, it is TTD separate from hotel, separate from flights. So I think TTD became a case study in last 2.5 years of success. We started from a very weak number, from a very weak in terms of marketing or in terms of inventory and everything, and today we become number one in Indonesia. And that's only been possible because of the blind faith and trust that we all have showed across all teams in this particular vertical. So I think the recipe for success, of course, is the faith, is the trust, but also the trust has been earned by the various members over a period of time. by showcasing the same fire. And plus, the biggest one more challenge we had was we couldn't meet everyone in person. We were all doing this over calls, and as we know that we don't even show our faces on these calls. So then how to actually build a bond with these people and show the trust in these people. So with all these challenges, we still came out doing really well. And again, in terms of the vulnerable moment, to even share here, we learned a lot about each other. We learned a lot that all of us had great intention, all of us were equally hungry, and that was one of the big reasons that we were able to go achieve. Of course we have our arguments, of course we have our discussions, but at the same time we all know that intention wise we are on the same page, and that's how we've been able to come to this stage. Go ahead, MJ.
Cool. Dennis, do you
Yeah.
want to share your thoughts as well on this?
Yeah, um, I think on TTD itself, right? This year is the year where we actually shine. I can tell you a lot that we are shine, but most of this thing actually is the result of last year hard work, collaboration, because during pandemic we built a lot of foundational stuff, a lot of features that now we can see the fruit of it. And one key things that for me, as Kamal also mentioned, collaboration, yes, of course, that's needed. But um, as one of the product manager as well, one of it is empathy, right? I mentioned that to build a great product, you also have empathy. But the empathy itself is not just really for you to deliver your work, but also to really have empathy together. I think I just want to add a little bit. Yes, collaboration. I super agree. Is a key of success is when we as a team are able to collaborate very well. But one of the key things is when we are actually able to understand each other's. I always said this also, right? When people always said product is product, commercial is commercial, business is doing business, product is no, 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 no. Product have to do business, and business also need to understand the product. When all these two are matched, right, that's the magic happen, that's the synergy where we are able to move forward faster, quick, and win the war. When these two, and together also with the tech team, together with all the teams, CS team, when all of them are actually able to and uh, understand each other and learn fast. I would say the second key is ability to learn pretty fast, because we are in a fast pace. It's a new market, it's a new product. Then after you have good collaboration, a quick ability to learn, I think is important. And I think I would say one key I don't want to put over here, it's ability to lead ourselves, peers, and leaders. I think that's the key of success, I would say. So that's
Cool.
from
That's
me.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, guys. All of my questions already answered. Cross examinations is done, but I believe all of the audience here has more questions. So let's move on to the Q&A sessions.
Ooh, let's hope there's a good questions.
Okay. So all of the audience can send their questions by submitting to Slido. You can scan the code, and we'll hope we receive some questions. While we're waiting for the questions, though, I believe like so many people are still curious about, right? Because all of us joined like before the pandemic, and nothing seems normal anymore. Our business got hit quite hard, and so many places were forced to close in order to delay the spread of the outbreak. So all of these inventories that you talk about probably unavailable at that time. And we as a business have to think fast. And I hope we already learned from that pandemic how we can bounce back and recover. Kamal, do you mind share on how do we manage to survive during the pandemic?
So just to give insights over here, during pandemic, we didn't fire anyone. We actually hired people. There was not a single cent that was removed from anyone's salary. So I think we are very, very grateful to Ticket, Jarom, and to everybody involved in the process. We actually took this time to cover our gap with Traveloka and actually move past ahead them. How did we do that? By genuinely adapting to the market, to the market needs. to seeing how we can help our customer better in the process of traveling or in the customer journey and really adapt there very well. So with that, we launched our new vertical called COVID-19 test. So we were able to sell, at some point we were selling more than 5,000 COVID tests a day. So that was possible because we were really quick to adapt during that phase. Second, we did was we launched our own online streaming platform. So if you wanted to consume Jakarta 48, you were able to consume there. If you wanted to, go and buy Sarah's content, exclusive content that was only available on ticket.com. So that's the best example to give anyone over here, is that how do you adapt to a crazy situation? You've got two kinds of people. One say, okay, it's crazy, I'm going to shut off shop and leave. And then you've got second kind of people who are like, you know what, okay, I have got a challenge, now let's overcome the challenge. When you overcome the challenge together, you become even more stronger and you really have that self belief. So I think with overcoming that challenge today, we all have this self belief that we can be number one during pandemic, during non pandemic times, and we can adapt to any situation that we're given. Thank you, Jessica.
Cool. How about from product team? We were definitely busy all times, even though the business are probably a little bit dry. But yes, Dennis, can you answer that?
I think okay, just to make it quick, right? Because we have some couple of
Yeah.
questions also over there. I think the key of okay, when basically things are bad, the one thing is that we always look is how fast you back up, right? How fast you're actually trying to, for example, able to get up and do and walk again. Because I mean, things will get challenges, but then ability for you to stand up again and move. That's the key on what Kamal mentioned, how we can move the COVID test, etc., etc. So I think just the mindset that I want to share over here. Yeah, back to you, MJ.
Cool. Okay, so let's go to Slido. We have several questions.
So many questions.
How do you compete with other competitors? Uh, who wants to start answering these questions? Dennis or Kamal?
Okay, I'll try. I go for it. So again, over here, the definition of competitor for us, we'll make it very clear. We, I mean, first of all, Ticket.com is a travel company. The only other player which is there in Indonesia, at least, is that you have Traveloka, which does not call itself an OTA. It calls itself, in the space of Grab and Gojek, it calls itself the super app, right? So we are not a super app. We are very clear. We are an OTA. We are a travel company. We want to make your travel experience the best. So how do we compete with them? We make sure that we go and lock in deals exclusively. We have the best product, and we make sure that we concentrate on our why we are in this business, and we know that what our values are, and our main objective is to make sure that we make memories, we win memories, and we give you the best experience. So what others are doing, that's their journey, but we are playing an infinite game where we are very clear on what's our why and what are our values. And in that space, I think we've done really well so far. Yeah, Dennis, you want to add something?
Yeah, just to add a
Yes.
little bit so we can move forward. I would say, in order for you to win the competition, is one key is how you compete with yourself. Because your number one biggest enemy is your limitation, your mindset, your limitation, how you actually deal with that for yourself. Because when you're trying to build something as well, trying to innovate, the only limitation is your mind, nothing else, only your mind, your vision, your direction. So I just want to say that how we win competition, how we compete, is by make sure we are able to compete with ourselves. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say.
Okay,
Cool.
let's go.
Oh, that's cool. So another questions. What are the challenges in developing TTD, especially during the pandemic?
Okay, I'll try this one, right? I'll try this one
Yes,
first.
sure.
How we actually, I mean, of course, we couple of things, right? We change our strategy, right? We know at the beginning we're trying to do. When I join, okay, so I give you a little bit story. I join, build this TTD, launch, pandemic, right? So there's a position where, oh shit, situation is bad, right? from trying to launch something and see as a good numbers based on things that we want to launch, change to how we refund, how we do refund. But then that's just the early things that we did at the time, and then now we are thinking, okay, so how we go. So it goes back again, as mentioned, for us, what we trying to do is we change our strategy now from building some features to see the market. Now we change everything, fix foundation. We focus on foundation because one thing for sure that we know that this pandemic will end. We are one thing for sure, this pandemic will end. So what we did is that let's let's put this way where, okay, let's build a foundation. When this actually end, we are ready to compete with market. We are fully strong to rebound. And there's a very good saying that one of the leaders in one of the OTA, the biggest in the world, in the world, saying this: based on our research and based on our understanding, if money is not a problem for you, what you gonna do? And most of the people said that I will travel around the world. Yeah. So there is a belief system where pandemic will end and people will travel around the world. People will go. So if you're asking me, the challenges is that mindset. How can we as a leader make sure this will end, build foundation, move forward? So that what I was saying. Probably Kamal, if you want to add, please go ahead.
Yeah, from I mean, in terms of, I think the main a big challenge was that in this time period, while we keep everyone in the team, how do we make sure that there is enough business so that people, can still get their salaries, still get their bonuses, and there is no problem in terms of the runway. And even during this pandemic, actually, we were all profitable. Our business was profitable. Even during the pandemic, we made sure that we really adapt quickly. We go into COVID-19 tests and we really build an amazing product. And we make sure that we have all the variety of options, and we provide the maximum convenience to the customer so that we can still make a very healthy margin, at the same time develop a great product, and the customer can still keep coming on ticket.com. So I think it was a challenging time, but we adapted really well, and we did do very good business, which can keep everyone happy and give us a runway to survive till the non-pandemic period. Yeah, MJ, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing all of the businesses and spill all of the beans. We do have several questions. I think everyone's got really excited because
Wow.
they want to know if they can join the team. And probably one of the part is like, what is the qualifications to be a great PM, Dennis, to join Ticket?
All right. What's the qualification, MJ? You are the PM, right?
Let's hear it
Okay.
from the VP, right?
No, no, no. All right. So in Ticket, a couple of things that we look into. Uh, I would say first is the analytical thinking. So it's very important. Why? Ability for you to frame the problem, to find what's the actual problem, dig down, break it down into structure. Structural thinking, analytical thinking is very important because most of the time you will dealing with the vague things that actually is unclear. Kamal can talk to you saying that how can we go here? For example, how can we make sure our customers have the best experience booking events? I mean, how would you define best experience, right? Or some other team will say that, okay, how can we cross sell to others? It's a vague thing. What do you mean by cross sell? How would you define cross sell? For example, other product. What other product you want to sell? Is it can I cross sell this with that, or can I? So ability for you to structure the frame, understanding the customers. Okay, first analytical and structural thinking is very important. I would say third one is I want to say we call it this product sense. So what is a product sense? It's your guts and sense of based on understanding your customers pain points and opportunity, this is the product that we should build. And that's challenging, right? Because there's no right and wrong. There is no correct, true or false. But this is actually the convictions as a product leader, as a product person, to really understand when this problem happened, this is what we solve. Sometimes we are not sure yet. Is this really the guts or product that we want to deliver? The only way as well by backing up with data, backing up with research, backing up with a couple more analysis to help those sense your product sense. It's like your business acumen. Like sometimes okay, we want to go to the business, right? But this is more into the product that we want to build. So I think three things, if we can summarize: analytical, structural, and product sense. It's one of the three key important. I know there's execution, communication, etc., but these are also one of the main three things that's very important for us to become a
Okay,
product manager.
cool. So you guys talk about the future and talk about the vision, missions of the plans, but obviously, my, the audience asks, what have you achieved though since you joined? Oh, can you share
Wow.
top three things that you've
Wow,
achieved since you joined, Kamal?
Go
spilling a
for it. Okay, you
beans.
want me to, okay, okay. So top three. Actually, this is a very good question for Dennis also, like what have they achieved in terms of product? But I'll just give you guys a little bit from a vertical standpoint what we've achieved. So the first thing, or like the very important thing that today we've achieved, is that we are the number one player in all attractions in Indonesia. I think that's a big achievement itself, because Ticket was nowhere 2 years ago, and now they are there. In terms of a whole product from end to end, from global search to, so when I say global search, is when earlier you would come on ticket.com and you would search Taman Safari, you would not see anything. So to be able to today search that and be able to see the product, it may seem very small, but it's a very big achievement for our company, right? And then to be able to serve high performing yielding events, which are today making us billions and billions of rupiahs every minute, I would say. So we sell 10,000 tickets in a minute, for example, for big events, and today we don't see any problems with that. The whole journey is very very easy and discoverable, as well as very easy flow. So that are huge accomplishments for our vertical and for ticket.com. And I think the last one I would like to also say for that qualification part. I think if your question was degree wise, there is no qualification required for a product manager. As long as you're a graduate who can critically think, that's enough to qualify. But then those other parts, what Dennis mentioned, right? Just to even take that question and to be very very clear with that. So yeah, MJ, was that clear on those three achievements? And probably
That's
probably Dennis
awesome.
can add.
How about Dennis? We'll see about what Dennis has
Um,
achieved.
well, we did a lot, right, MJ? We
Oh
sleep at
wow.
night just to make sure we deliver this, that, this, that, this, that. But in the end, I just want to say this: in the end, I think I did that one time and couple of time as well, where I tried to share this to our team, where I tried to use our product, browsing around, and then saw some reviews, some customer reviews, a simple customer review, saying that thank you ticket.com for selling this kind of concert. Wow, what a wonderful experience. I love this. People saying that, for example, they have the experience. I think that's the best achievement because you feel that's what okay, I don't know about you guys, but for me, what makes me content and feels energized again doing all this work is the impact of really customers change their life because oh my god, this concert is changed my life as well. And they put that in in the review section. I literally read it. Thank you ticket.com for selling this, and then thank you ticket.com for do this, help me to go to with the family, and it's super fun. Like I enjoy so much, like those things that I think uh, keeping me alive and awake again, wake up in the morning saying that okay, let's help the customers for this. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we definitely achieved a lot last year. Even though people thinks that the OTAs is not a busy business, but we are extremely busy of all times. So besides, like having that achievement of feeling content and feel like we deliver a great customer experience, what is actually the perks of being in your divisions? Yeah, I completely forget about it. Can you remind me again, Dennis?
I mean,
This is such a
again,
Take
cool
notes
right?
of
question. I
this
love this.
one.
Actually, I mean, I know this question is for Dennis, but I wanna add something here. So the biggest perk over here, yeah, is first is that you get to set the industry standard, which you would get nowhere this opportunity. To give everybody an idea, Booking.com was the one which set the standard of pay later in hotels. Flights, the standards was set by Ctrip. For TTD, it's fairly open right now. Airbnb set the standard for marketplace model, which was in hotels. But no one today has set any standard for TTD. And I think it's a big opportunity for anyone who wants to do game changing work and set a standard of the industry, which will be remembered for next 20, 30, 40 years. And that opportunity exists today in TTD. So that is the number one perk of being part of this company, where you can solve really difficult problems, of course, have sleepless nights, but the legacy will remain and will be followed by other people. Thank you. Dennis, all yours.
Yeah, aside for all the compensation benefit, extra, I think you can reach out to us, talk to our people. You can get that. But I want to say this: having a perks, the biggest perks in your career, if you want to join, right? Whoever it is you out there, right? When you build something and that something is actually growing, that's the biggest perks. Because sometimes you can join any startups, any companies, right? And if the company is not growing, why are you actually there, right? And if the business is not growing, product is not growing, some question mark: are we doing the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? So if you join us, right? I mean, the perks is that you be in the position again, like Kamal said, you build industry standard, etc. But you be the position where you build something during pandemic and it's actually growing, because the the bar is your limit. I mean, it depends on how far you want to push this. So join us. We grow this together. I'm looking for basically we are looking for people to grow together, right? It's not like for you to grow it and then that's it. No, we're looking for people for us to grow together, help to challenge each other. uh, so yeah, the sky is the limit. Depends on how far you want to push. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, from my own experience, the perks of working as a product manager at Tiket.com has been very great. In terms of besides the compensations and benefits and salary wise, what I learned so far is all of the learning curve about the business, about the product, and how to become more critical and managing all the stakeholders. Even though there's ups and downs, but all of that is by the end of the day, I'm very grateful for the opportunity and very happy to every day we have like problems to solve and trying to find solutions, and your voice is heard by all of the leaders. So thank you, Kamal and Dennis, for answering all of our questions. If you do have more
Thank
questions
you,
though, you can
MJ.
definitely send message to Kamal and Dennis directly through LinkedIn. They're definitely have more time to answer all of the questions. And wow, as already shared by Kamal and Dennis about all things to do, the future plan, the vision and missions, we do strongly believe in teamwork and how to connect the dots, finding the solutions, and deliver the best customer experience. If you guys are excited to build things to do with us, we do have some job openings at the moment, from lead to intern. So you can apply and by checking our career page over here, ticket.com careers. And I hope everyone's actually interested to apply, and hopefully we can work together in the future with me, Kamal, and Dennis. So it's time to say goodbye. thank you everyone who stay in Spill the Bean sessions with me, Dennis and Kamal. We do have special presents for you guys though, like our beloved Tix bands already prepare a song for you, and I hope you guys enjoy Fix You by Coldplay. See you in other sessions. Bye.